American-born savages.
There once was a crew that broke the tide, thinking free with hearts so wide. cHiLzTheSavage led the fray, no line to tow, we sail our way. There once was a crew that broke the tide, thinking free with hearts so wide. cHiLzTheSavage led the fray, no line to tow, we sail our way. Oh, we roll, we rise, we're never done. Boundless minds neath the rebel sun. Made the Celts with warriors' lore, sang of old from a distant shore. Flash, Martin, Goatman, bold and grand, steered the ship with a steady hand. Oh, we roll, we rise, we're never done. Boundless minds neath the rebel sun. Matt the mighty, now so small, strength of giants, he stood tall. Sith the broken Jedi swayed, cut the chains with a weather blade. Oh, we roam, we rise, we're never done. Boundless minds neath the rebel sun.
We don't need that again. We don't need that again. What's up, everybody? This is the beginning. This is the new beginning. Everybody knows who I am. We have some guests that are basically co-hosts also. However, this is the Summit of Savages podcast. Yeah. I, how do I put? Okay, think of it this way. This is the Summit of Savages where we don't just step outside the box. We torch it and dance on the ashes. Too many people out there are towing the line, shuffling along the sheep like sheep because it's the easy and safe way. It's what everyone else does, but safe never necessarily build a damn thing worth remembering. The Wright brothers, they didn't beg for permission to fly. They went against the grain and started to try flying a bunch of wood in pieces. It's like they ignored the herd and the of polishing the horse carriages and rewrote the rules more or less. Steve Jobs didn't tweak a typewriter; he destroyed it and built something better. Here's where it gets wild. Why do we keep swallowing the same tired stories about the past without asking messy questions. We know ancient floods drowned entire coastlines. We know volcanoes turned skies black and buried cities. So why the hell isn't it something front and center when we talk about ancient religions? Why can't we say, hey, does this cataclysm coincide with any stories? Because there could be a lot of viability. What people don't realize is these weren't just campfire tales. People watched their worlds end in water and fire, and we're supposed to believe it didn't have an effect on shaping their gods, their myths, their everything. Nah, that's hard thinking. We're here to rip up the script and look sideways. It's the truth doesn't hide in straight lines. Let's be honest. This isn't about comfort. Comfort's the enemy of greatness. It's about kicking the doors down, asking why, and then asking why again until the whole room's uncomfortable. Tonight, we're not tweaking the game. We're inventing a new one. So stick with me. Throw your ideas into the fire. Say what you got to say in chat if you agree or disagree. And let's see what burns brighter. Obviously, it's not going to be the status quo because it doesn't seem like it's doing very much anymore. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into here. Everybody knows me. I'm cHiLzTheSavage. That's Flash the Goat Man Martin. Everybody's seen the video. He turns into a goat. If you pay attention to here, that I got, I got everybody hooked up. We got Sith. Sith is up there. He's the Sith turned Jedi. We got Nate the Celt. And we got Mighty Mouse, or what I call Pink Shoes. Don't make me do it, Pink Shoes. Pink Shoes. Okay. But anyway, let's go around. You guys could introduce yourselves, more or less. You got about 30 seconds. Tell who you are and what you enjoy doing when it comes to talking about what aspects of what. Starting with you, Gen Zer, or whatever the hell you are. He's part of the newer generation. So we may have an issue. Look, he's creeping next to me. You keep your goofy ass away from me. Okay.
Well, hello. I am Mighty Mouse, and I am Gen Z, the newer generation. And I strayed away from my generation a lot. I'm more aligned with the older generation because that's how I was raised. And a lot of these ideas that my generation has brought into the, for instance, the early 2000s has been, I would say, messing up a lot of places in the world.
Okay. Let's go to Flashy. Go ahead, Flash.
I'm Flash Mine, and I don't know what I would fall under as. I'm not Gen Z anyway because I'm born in '85. So
You're millennial. You
but,
are absolutely millennial. You are entitled like a son of a bitch. But you just, but you made it go from Matt saying, "Hey, look, I'm a Gen Z. I kind of landed in a bad side of the ball game." To, "Hey, my name is Flash, and I'm an alcoholic." Like, come on now, this ain't no damn AA meeting. All right, moving on to Sith.
Well, I'm Sith turned Jedi, or Twisted Jedi Media, and I'm Generation X. And
Look, we're going to do this one easier. He's Sith with the exclamation point. You ain't got to remember nothing else. Sith with the exclamation point. That's what we'll call you. Ain't nobody else got that name. And that's your name that you've always went. And finally, the man of the hour, the ideas behind the show, Nate the Celt.
Yeah, I'm Nate the Celt. I'm one of the old school veterans of doing stuff with Chills. Thought we needed to get back to it and get back to our roots doing this stuff again. got myself that time.
You're good, but what a lot of
Um,
people don't realize is that me and you went to school together.
yeah, we're old school friends, like not just like internet buddies that come across. And we're Zennials. We're a split between the Gen Z or Gen
100%.
X and the Millennials, so we get a little bit of
100%.
both of that.
We're not entitled, but we were little loudmouth pricks, and we learned the hard way.
Ain't that
Okay,
the truth?
so let's go into the first talking point of the night. Like this night's designed so we could just basically more or less have a conversation. We will get into a few things, but it's not going to be very informative tonight unless you're just trying to understand where we're coming from. So, we'll call this talking point toe the line, you lose your spine. Something simple and easy. Because it's following a crowd is easy, but it's a slow death. I mean, honestly, anybody with a pulse, it would be a slow death for if you think about it, just by following a crowd. Greatness comes from breaking rank. Look at all the past greats. Tesla. Everybody looked at him like he was nuts. Probably one of the most influential people in my personal life. You got people like Einstein, another one, incredibly intelligent. I hope the stream isn't bad. It looks like it's going red. I don't know. We'll have to see. But like I said earlier, when I was bringing it up in the monologue, the Wright brothers didn't wait for approval. When they decided they wanted to try to make a flying plane out of wood, they just kept doing it while they were being mocked. And now we have planes because of them. So while we're going into this talking point, and this isn't just for the people on a podcast, even though it is for them, but anybody that's in chat, what's one thing we're all still doing just because that's how it is? It's a very thought provoking question. What is one thing that we still do just because that's how it's always been? I can give it a perfect example of one thing that we're starting to like fade away from. And that would be the whole situation of the media. We're not watching the media like we used to. We're not believing the
I
news
agree with
like
that.
we used to.
A lot more people are going to independent sources instead of watching their basic news channels. I mean,
it's better.
Between all the major ones, CNN, Fox, all of them are people are going away from them.
We got fed up. Everybody got fed up with it. It's just how it is. All right, Nate. Well, since you started, what's one thing that we're currently still doing just because that's how it is?
That's a tough one. I mean, we tend to even just small things that we keep our mouth shut about. We see stuff going wrong in the world. Instead of speaking up, we just keep our mouth shut and keep rolling. Like, shouldn't be that way. If something's wrong, we need to stand up for it and voice our opinion. And
I agree, but I disagree because that's called chivalry from ancient times and older times, and it's like we lost.
I get that. I get that, but if you noticed, I mean, even not even just chivalry. I mean, you see somebody fighting, some young kid taking on an older person. Okay, most people will just go, "Oh, it ain't my problem," and keep walking and walk away. Like, no, if you see something being done wrong, you should be stepping in.
Yeah,
yes
but
and
on
no.
one, but the thing is, on one hand, like my mum was telling me, my dad my biological dad saw a fight between a man and a woman, and my dad went to stop the fight, and it went to court, and then basically the woman backed up her husband, or what was her husband at the time, backed her up. So you got to be careful because, like I say, it can also backfire on you if you try stepping in and helping.
Flash, tell everybody the rest of the story. You got beat up by the woman.
No, it wasn't me. It was my biological dad who was in a shop and he just saw a man and a woman fighting, and he went
I
out
do
to try
see.
and stop the fight.
I do see the point in what you're saying, Nate. 100%. But then we run into other situations with that, where hey, we need to step up and we need to get involved. But hey, you just lost your life because you wanted to involve yourself in something that ended up not even being what you thought it was. That's where we run into the problem. I'm all
I
for
don't mean like
protecting
stepping
people
in
with
on an
need.
argument, but I'm talking about like, like I said, if you
The
see
guy in New
some
York on a
young
subway.
punk,
The guy in New York on a subway. Penny.
which one you talking about?
The guy that put the other guy in a chokehold that was trying to scream in women's face, threatening to kill him.
Yeah,
Daniel
that
Penny.
should be, you should
They
step up and do something about that.
they charged him. That's
Are you
the issue.
serious?
They charged him. The jury found the guy not guilty.
See, and that's what's wrong with this world.
That you got the Me Too thing where it's coming out now. There's a bunch of information saying, hey, a lot of these people were actually lying. And honestly, I've always been one for, hey, if a woman says something bad happened, then you got to give it the benefit of the doubt without a question. But now we're finding that benefit of the doubt drove us in a bad place. Okay, Flash, you spoke in on it. It's your turn to answer the question. What's one thing we're still doing in life? What's one thing that we're still doing just because that's how it is? You cannot talk about
Like,
things you order from China. Period.
no, I
No
was
more
going
of
to
that.
say, like going out socializing with people. We're still doing it
No, we're not.
because that's how it is. No, well, we are.
No,
Maybe in the
We're still going
UK,
out.
you guys are still socializing, but you guys just discovered the internet like a couple years ago. You're still on 686 or whatever, like the
No,
old
we're not.
telephone dial-up internet.
No, we're not like that. Not at all. We're
got mail.
Okay, next one. Mighty Mouse. From your perspective, you're young, so your opinion counts a lot more than you realize. What is something that we are doing currently that we've been doing for years just because?
The school system of how it's hasn't changed since I would say the 1700s, maybe even earlier than that. It's you sit down in this chair, you do your work, but
I couldn't agree with you more.
but none of that is going to
well,
apply to the
I
world.
have to. I sort of agree, but I disagree on that. There was the change, back in the 90s with the whole No Child Left Behind bull crap, which that right there should be they should get rid of it because now it's putting out a bunch of illiterate people and
Right.
people that can't
Even
do
if
basic
you
math.
fail, even if you fail, you're still pushed on through. It's okay. You'll do
Yeah,
better next
because
year.
No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree on that, but like a lot of like the classes you take. I'm 1 year out of high school. You took a math class that you would not use for your future job. Like
They gave him a maid class, but no home ec.
exactly. I was in culinary class because I want to be a cook when I'm older, right? They taught me all this fancy stuff, but didn't teach me the basics. You see the issue?
Your boy came to my house. He came to my house. I said, you can stay up here. Food's in the fridge. If you're hungry, make yourself something. One day I'm upstairs and I'm making egg omelet. And he's looking and he's looking and he's staring. I turned around and said, Matt, you want one? I'll make you one. He goes, yeah, I've never had one. I don't know how to make that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The egg omelet is the epitome of poor. It is the epitome of poor. When you are when you're raised in a low income family, well, not now because eggs are going so high in price, but actually they came down $5 for me. I bought the 5 dozen; it was only 25, not 30 this time. But anyway, when it comes to needing specific things that's going to give you the nutrients and proteins you need, eggs is one of the higher things you can get. So for people that are like middle to low class, eggs are a sufficient part of their diet. How in the hell can you not make an egg omelet? It's simply cooking both sides, flipping it, putting cheese in the middle, closing it up. But these are the things they're not teaching them. Hey Matt,
What's
how do
up?
you do your taxes?
I haven't filed, and I don't know how.
Hey Sith, did you
Yeah.
learn to do taxes when you was in school?
Yeah, we had to take a class called Economics and Financial Information Processing, so you knew how to balance a checkbook and all of your
Oh, they didn't give
account.
a damn about the checkbook. Hey Nate, we had classes that we had to learn how to do taxes, but it was only to make sure we
Yeah.
paid the correct amount. It was never about how much we were owed.
For when I was
Yeah.
in high school, they gave us a class called financial algebra, but it taught us how to do taxes on purchases, not how to file them.
Yeah. See, that's crazy. Okay, and finally, last Sith. What is one thing we're still doing just because that's how it is?
Honestly, sending our kids to public schools.
That goes right along with what Matt said.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is because they're literally teaching a curriculum that's turning children into slaves. They make good workers, but they're never given the education or the knowledge of what they need to start somewhere besides the bottom.
I agree, but school makes good followers, not good leaders.
I agree. A
Exactly.
million percent.
Absolutely.
A million percent.
Well,
Oh,
it's not just that; they're always teaching them things that you don't actually need to learn anywhere at school.
listen, there's some things I agree 100% with what you're saying, Flash, but I don't know your schooling system enough to speak on it. I know in America there's certain things I don't appreciate them teaching my children unless they teach them the whole facts around those specific people. When you teach somebody that somebody else is good, but you don't teach the history of the said person, so the children understand if this person is good or not, we have a huge problem. I'm not going to mention no names. I'm not going to say whether it was part of a culture, a religion,
Yeah,
anything other than that nature, but it has happened.
yeah, that's what they're doing in England as well.
Okay, so let's go for the next part. The savage mindset. It's either sink or think. That's your options. Conformity kills. Savages live by questioning everything, even the obvious. If sharks towed the line, they'd be begging for crumbs instead of owning the seas. Now think about that. Does that make sense to you? If you could train a shark, would they be running the whole sea?
No,
Bingo.
because
Bingo.
sharks are one of the greatest predators at sea. They're always mostly on top of the food chain.
So here's the next question. What's something that we grew up on that's like a stupid rule or a superstition or something like that that we still follow? Boys don't cry.
It gets drilled into your head as soon as you come out of the womb.
I agree 100%. I try to teach all of you guys, and I've even told you, dude, it's okay if you need to let loose. And that day I told that to you, you let loose. Because I don't think anybody had ever told you that.
No, it was always you're going to be a man. You got to take everyone's pain, suffering on your shoulders all the time. It's just that gets mentally draining for a lot of guys.
But then when you get my age, you've went through it for so long, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have no effect on you anymore.
Yeah.
You just battle through
See,
it.
I was brought up not to hit women, basically. That's what I was brought up
Okay,
by.
well, we'll go to you next, Flash. Go ahead, Matt.
That's why most men commit suicide.
Don't say that word. First things first, don't say that word on the stream because that can get us flagged. They're very uptight about that, which is understandable. Stupid people do very stupid things. Okay. But yes, that does cause the higher rate of offing oneself.
Delete.
Delete, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Flash.
Yeah, I was basically brought up not to hit women. But yeah, my mum's belief is that if a woman hits a man, that they should be allowed to.
Okay,
But my stepdad
okay,
thinks
okay.
differently.
Flash, before you go any further with this, the question is, what's a dumb rule that you still follow? Personally, I don't
Why
think
is it dumb?
I don't think that's a dumb rule not to smack a woman.
Well, no one should be smacking anyone. That's
Okay,
basically it.
so I'm going to skip over you now.
All
You
right.
think about the question and make sure it makes sense in your head now, because I don't
I've
know.
got one.
Go for it.
I was brought up to eat carrots because it makes you see in the dark.
Okay, it doesn't necessarily make you see in the
Um,
dark, but it does increase the strength in your eyes.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I was brought up to say to eat my carrots because it can make you see in the dark.
Every fruit and vegetable damn near out there is there for a reason. If you look into like
Yeah, but
pomegranate flesh, it's good for your heart. Bananas, just take a guess what bananas are good for.
Are you
it's
sure
good
you
for
want to ask that question?
Good for
I was going to
muscles.
say that.
Potassium, it's good for your muscles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like on a
But
serious
my point
note,
is, it's still a stupid rule. It's still a stupid thing to say.
I think it's just a moral sense. Okay, Sith, go ahead with you next.
A stupid rule we still follow today. You
It
have
could
to.
be a superstition too.
Oh god, yeah. You're gonna have 7 years of bad luck if you walk under a ladder.
I think
That is like the
I have
dumbest.
sat there and I have thought about this now. I really have thought about this superstition, and I think I can understand it. Somebody legit walked under a ladder and probably caught a bucket or something upside their head.
And they were screwed up for like 7 years.
Maybe scarred.
Oh, maybe.
You
I
figure.
don't know.
Okay, Nate, all on you.
Mine's similar to what Matt was saying. Um, how us guys just need to man up when something's going, when we're going through stuff. Just man up. Don't show emotion. Don't show there's anything bothering you. Man
The
up.
only
Put your big
way
boy
I can
pants on.
agree that somebody should have to man up is if we get to play Rochambeau afterwards.
Ouch.
Okay. Okay.
Be right back.
Go for it. Now for me, I got to come up. a dumb rule that we still follow. No matter what, it is your responsibility to stay with the person that you're with if you don't love them to take care of the children.
I agree with that.
I don't. I don't.
No, I mean, like, I agree that it's stupid.
I absolutely feel that no matter what, you should be there for your children. But if there's constant fights and arguments, like I don't have to worry about this, so I could speak from an outside perspective. Me and my old lady, we get along, and when we argue, we end up talking shit to each other for 20 minutes, and then it's over, and we're kissing and lovey dovey. But the whole idea where it's constant eruption of emotions in front of children cannot be good. Period. Point blank. So I feel that is one of the biggest stupid rules that was created morally and a great idea, but didn't end up being what we wanted. Anybody got anything to say on it before we move to the next one?
I can agree with that though.
I agree with it.
And Flash is in his own planet.
Like usual.
Oh, yeah.
My arm is swelling. Yeah, my arm's swelling up real bad. Look. Okay, outside the box isn't cliche, it's survival. The box isn't boring, it's a cage. Legends like Da Vinci or Musk didn't tweak, they torched and rebuilt. Tie in like the idea of the ancient floods and volcanoes. They didn't fit in neat little boxes. Why should our take on them be just a standard ideology? What box do you think we should smash first in our show? In the Summit of Savages. And we can speak about this a little bit more, but we're going to come back to it because that's where we can go into depth. That'll be we're a couple talking points away. But what box do you guys think we should smash next? Starting
What
with
do you think, Joe? You. Kick it off. What do you think, Chills?
I don't think unless it's physically illegal, I don't think that there should be a box in my way. I have a bug of salt for that box. It don't need to be there. No, I honestly, when the boxes that we need to smash is the fact that everybody expects people to be politically correct. But when we go politically correct, we can't talk about the actual aspects of science or history or anything like that because, oh, somebody might get butthurt. But let's be honest. I would much rather have a conversation where we could all learn something and it might offend a few people than sit here and just, oh, that's cool. But we can't talk about that because that might offend somebody. So that the offense box that everybody wants to put change in when you say a bad word, well, I say we pour gasoline in that box and we ignite that box. Now it's your turn, Nate.
You said what I was getting ready to say. Now I got to think of another one.
Okay. Go ahead, Sith.
Yeah, pass.
He can't even think of a box. The only box he got his mind on will get us banned if he talks about it. Flash Martin. You going to come out of your box of thinking the UK could actually beat the US?
There's no question about that. If it came down to the right amount of soldiers.
Okay.
The other thing is,
real quick, Flash. Matt, repeat yourself.
Still 0-2, by the way.
Just don't forget that. Okay, go ahead, Flash.
Keep it up.
Continue.
I'll take this no cheat over.
All right, go ahead, Matt. It's your turn.
All right. The box I think we need to burn is this goes back to the school thing. How the school kind of limits your mind. It gives you this mindset that this is how you do things. It doesn't let you think outside of it.
Okay, I'm with you on that, and that's me looking at the Amish communities. There are children that in our society very well could be say they could be diagnosed with ADHD. They send these children out to work on the farms, do the hard manual labor. I agree with you. Where there's some children that need to be taught the labor and not the inner workings of numbers and stuff that they don't understand. So yeah, I'm with you. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Flash, put the
I said
glizzy
that back when I
down.
was in school.
He has a
pop.
glizzy in his bottle.
It's a pop, but it's actually pop. It's called Tango.
Tango
Jerry.
glizzies. Go ahead, Sith.
Like back when I was in school, I said the same thing. Like we had to take biology and like dissect things and stuff like that. Like if somebody already knows that they're not going to use that at any point in life, what is the point of forcing every single person that goes through that school to do it?
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's like sewing. They tried teaching me sewing at school, and when am I going to ever do any sewing?
You
Well,
split your
see,
pants
I,
because you ate too much.
exactly. Or like if you pop a button on your shirt, you can sew it back on. Basic life skills stuff, I do believe they should be teaching in schools. Um, like even how to change your own tire on your car. But the difference between, and I see Chills and I, we went to brick and mortar schools. We went to public schools. I have nephews and nieces that have gone to uh, online schooling. Their schooling style is totally different than a brick and mortar school. Um, they their curriculum is geared more towards the child. Like if you don't have interest in biology, you're not going to take biology. There's another science course you could take in place of that, so you still get your science credits. They should start offering that in brick and mortar schools instead of just
Absolutely.
on online schools.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is with the sewing side of the aspect is in England they've got tailors, so you can if you need something fixed, you could just take it to a tailor and you'll get it fixed anyway. So it's obsolete now. You don't need that skill any longer because you've already got someone else who can do it for you.
That's how can I say this? We have tailors here in America too, but it would be cheaper and easier if you did it yourself, depending on what it was. You know, if you're looking at, hemming your pants or, something more in depth, by all means take it to a tailor. But you should know as a human being, as an adult, that how to sew on a button or sew something simple, like if you get a hole in your shirt, how to sew it closed, or, you know, and not have to spend, 30, 40 pounds to get it fixed.
But
So
Flash
what you're
would try to do
basically saying,
something else with a button. He's the only man on Earth that could fit it in the buttonhole.
but what I'm saying is, what they should do is tailor to the people that are interested in that sort of thing, and make it so it's more tailored towards the people of that topic. So if people are interested in tailoring, for like sewing, then get them to do the sewing if that's what they're into. If the people want to do mechanics, let them do mechanics. Not force people to do things that they don't want to do.
But see that you and I are coming from two different aspects. I'm looking at it as an aspect of stuff you should know as an adult that most don't today. Most don't know how to do their checkbook or balance their checkbook. Most people don't know how to, as an adult, don't know how to do taxes. don't know how to change his tire, don't know how to, change their own oil, don't know how to sew on a button, basic, stuff that you should know as an adult, they should teach more of in school. Because once you send these kids out into the real world, you got somebody sitting on the side of the road, a 20-year-old kid sitting, he's got a flat tire and he don't have AAA.
Hold on, Nate. I gotta pause you for 1
He's gonna have to
second.
call tow truck.
What in the hell was you just doing, Flash?
What?
What in the hell was you just doing? I
You mean
don't think
that?
you're supposed to beat yourself with that.
No, I was
It's
actually
on
playing with
stream.
it,
No,
doing
I
that.
have Rumble up. I was watching it on Rumble.
I was doing that with it.
Okay, go ahead, Nate.
I was
You
doing
can
that.
resume.
That's sick. It's a garlic crusher, by the way.
Am I the only one that thinks this way, or is there others here that think, we should be sending people out into the real world with basic human knowledge? How to cook, how to clean, how to sew, how to, do basic things like balance their checkbook.
Or put
Yes,
gas in
I
their car.
agree.
Exactly.
I absolutely agree. But here's the issue. No, I'm not one to say, oh, it's not the school's fault. However, at what point? Now, this is me being the guy in the middle. At what point is it not the school's problem, but the parents' responsibility?
Right. Well, it's somebody's responsibility. But
I
the
agree
problem
with you.
is neither
Okay, here, Sith.
party is
Primary
teaching it.
example. Primary example. Changing a tire. That should not be a school thing, unless you're in automotive.
Now,
Right.
see, the reason why I'm going to argue this point. So, yes, it is a balance between school and home, but predominantly in America, unfortunately, statistically, most children are in a one-parent household, whether it's with their mother or their father. Their mother may never have learned how to change a tire. Who's going to be able to teach that then? So that's where I say it's better if it comes from a school setting where everybody's learning how to do it than hoping that there's a two-parent household or an adult that could teach it at home. You don't always have that ability at home.
Okay. I know a lot of states started implementing it. You have to go through the classes before you can get your license now. If you take the test and you fail one time, you have to pay for the course.
That's actually not bad.
So we
See,
do
that's
have
what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, but here, like they used to offer driver's ed, and they would teach you everything you need to know, how to freaking fuel the car, check the oil, everything. Well, budget cuts. They haven't done
Sith,
that in 10 years.
you live in a third world country, dude. People can't
I
even figure
know.
out how to wash their balls.
They got to wait till it rains for that.
See, not everyone's good at certain aspects. Like for me, I'm useless at cooking. I can't cook for peanuts. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm quite good at dismantling things and putting them back together again. They should adapt to what the person's good at and utilize that, because that will then bring out the other qualities of that person's skills. And not in doing it the way that you said.
We need people to be pressed to see where they break under pressure and if they can improve at what they're doing under pressure. So, no, I don't agree with that part. At a certain point, yes, but they need to press the people before they could make that determination. However, we need to get back on to the point. What box would you want to smack?
All of them.
I can't breathe now, damn it. Okay, Matt,
What's up?
what's a box do you think we should smash?
I reckon they should smash outbox thinking.
Say that again.
Too many.
Out the box thinking. You know, thinking outside the box sort of thing.
We already talked about that. That was on the last part. Okay, Nate, you're the last one because that's got him stumped. He can't think of hypotheticals. They really don't work very well for him. No, legitimately, some people you cannot give a hypothetical to because they just don't comprehend what you're trying to tell them. And that's not me talking shit in any way, shape, or form, and Matt knows it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said mine about the whole man up stuff.
Okay. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Who agrees with that?
I agree.
Playing it
I
safe.
agree.
Playing it safe breeds mediocrity. Every leap, fire, flight, space come from rejecting the cozy system, the cozy angle. Ancient people didn't cozy up during the disasters. They adapted or died. Some game, different stakes. Same game, different stakes. What's one comfort they could ditch to spark something wild? So, what's one thing that you're comfortable with happening every single day that you can get rid of to have a better life in general?
Coffee.
Oh yeah, that's gonna cost something wild and a whole bunch of new charges.
Probably get in trouble for flashing it, but these.
What? Put that shit down.
So I said I'd probably get in trouble, and you told me to put it back up.
Yeah, you could have just said it.
No.
I agree with you on that, 100%.
No. I've gotten too complacent with, I guess you could say, kind of using it as a crutch, calming me down, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, Nate, with what you've been going through, I think you'd be the only one in this whole stream with the right to say, "Hey, I deserve to smoke right now."
Right.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
Go for it.
Or electronics for entertainment. A lot of kids now are not going outside as much. They're staying inside, just playing video games. Myself included. I play video games a lot. So, but for a lot of people younger than me doing this, they're wasting their youth away.
Well, Matt, unfortunately, I do kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Yes, kids and people in general would probably need to cut back on technology slightly. But the younger generation, Gen Z and younger, they how can I say this? They're a lot of their babysitters were like an iPad, where that's what a lot of parents use to control their kid. Here, play on a video game or watch the iPad.
The electronic babysitter.
Yep.
You guys ready for mine?
But
A comfort that we could eliminate that it could spark something wild, and the probably one of the most wild things that it'll spark is finding yourself, and that's by stop relying on everybody that you expect to be there for you. Yeah, some of them's going to be there, but you don't need to ride on it. If you ride on it, then you get your heart broke.
Yep.
It's-
110%.
You see, every time I hear something like that, you guys know who Tyler Perry is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there was one of his plays, his
Put your arm
Medea
up.
plays. If you ever have a chance to look it up, look up the whole "People Are Like Trees" on YouTube
Okay.
with Tyler Perry, and it makes a lot of sense. Goes into talking about people are like trees. Some people are roots. Some people are branches. And the ones that you think are good, sturdy branches, aren't. And then people are like leaves. Go
Uh,
this way, go that way.
all right.
It really
Sith.
makes.
Go ahead. Sorry, my bad, Nate.
No, I was just saying, it really makes sense if you get a chance to watch it. That clip, check it out because it hits home too
I will.
frequently.
I will. Definitely. Okay, Sith, go into the next part. What is your comfort that could ditch something? Or what's the comfort you could ditch to make something better? And if you're wondering what sidetracked me, I just got something on my hand and I don't know what the hell it is. That's why I like stopped paying attention.
That's why I said coffee, but that's only going to affect the people directly around me.
You're just trying to start
Um,
fist fights so you can make new YouTube videos.
you know it. I even got the new background. Um, uh, procrastinating. I procrastinate a lot.
Absolutely.
A
Absolutely.
lot. And it's everything.
This one right here, too.
Hey, stop pointing fingers.
I can't say what
But
he is
that's a
because I might get
comfort
banned for it.
because I know that I can put things off and still get it done. So I rely on that way too heavily.
Okay, well, we got to move a little bit faster now because we're running out of time. So let's move on to the next one and the final topic. Either we could rewrite the rules, or we could rip them up, or we could just do what we're told. Rules are just stale ideas that aren't questioned. Why should we tweak them when we could reinvent them? Thought sparks. Think about it. If there's rules, it could stop us from thinking. It could stop us. Oh, we shouldn't think like that. We can get in trouble. Ancient myths born from floods and eruptions, they told us their story. We created our own rules and decided that it needed to be deciphered, and look where it led us. We don't understand what we're reading. But if we look at it from a historical context, we can understand it. Why not rethink the like floods and eruptions as like the stories of them is survival manuals? Wouldn't that be the smart thing to do? What role would you shred to rethink the world? I'll start it off. What role would I shred to rethink the world? Anybody that hinders speech. Free speech is the most important thing that we could possibly have. The only rule that we should have around it is you are protected with your speech unless you are going to cause harm. Not, oh, you said something that hurt my feelings. No, physical harm, like causing a stampede. So that's really my only limits. Or saying things that's inappropriate to a child because you'd still be put in jail for that. That would be the role that I think that would need shredded. Go for it. Flash, you look like you're falling asleep.
No, I was just thinking the rule I would get rid of would be, where when you buy a piece of technology and it says "do not tinker" because you can make damage it and this, that, the other. Well, I would get rid of that because that's how inventions get more improved by playing about with it, like
Those
taking things
stickers
apart
don't work in
and putting them back
America.
together again.
Those stickers don't hold up in court in America.
No, but in England
The
and
little
stuff like
tiny
that,
stickers, listen, those little tiny stickers they put over the screws. In America, those don't
yeah,
hold up.
yeah, no, but in England they do it where if you take something out, like for this computer, for example, it null and voids the warranty on that piece of item. They need
That's
to remove that.
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it hinders people improving on technology. What's there? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I could see your
Because
aspect of it. All right, next one in the ring, sit.
A rule that I would get rid of. Hmm.
Okay, we're coming back to Sith. Nate, go for it.
Eye for an eye. Get rid of it. Too many people pull the "you did it to me, I'm gonna do it to you."
And they ended
Where
up
does
not
that
doing
get
it.
you?
No,
And
I
even at
personally
that, what?
think if it's the legit and it's a legit eye for an eye, I think that rule should be kept. But I understand what you're saying. I'm a little bit more evil than that now because I feel if you harm somebody's child, that person should be able to harm you twice as bad.
Oh, I mean, you knew what I was getting at with the whole
I
eye
agree with
for an
you.
eye.
No, I agree with you. I, I know what you're saying. Okay, Matt, Mighty Mouse. One rule you would get rid of. You're young.
I don't know.
Sith.
It's not really a rule, but honestly, I think that the reason that we're in quite so much shambles at the moment is they need to start making the punishments fit the crimes for a lot of these things that people are just getting a slap on the wrist for.
I disagree.
mm,
I have to speak on that right now. And let me tell you why I disagree. Because we've seen people that aren't on the same side of the political aisle get 20 to 22 years for things that they shouldn't have got 6 months for. They wasn't there for it. What the
Right.
rule that we need is we need to eliminate any rule that says our justice department cannot be sued.
Oh, absolutely. But no, I was
That
saying
would
for
solve.
like harsher crimes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, no, no,
yeah,
no!
but then
I know exactly what you're saying, and if it's a harsh crime to elderly children, something like that, make it worse. Make it so bad that the people fear it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's no fear.
Well,
Oh, I'm gonna do 6 months in jail. They're gonna let me back out on the street. No,
we have an issue
no.
though. Then you'll have people that jaywalk and get 6 weeks, things
Right?
like that.
No.
yeah,
The punishment has to actually fit the crime, but it should, in fact, fit the crime. You see
well,
what I'm saying?
Yep, you did
I
a
was
good
going to
one there.
say, well, you also it's a double-edged sword because in England you usually get punished by being hanged, for an example, and it turned out one person got hanged, and the reason why we got rid of the death sentence, for an example, in England is because it turned out this person was innocent all along, and that person yet got hanged for something they didn't do.
See, I can
So you've
understand
got to
that.
also be careful.
I understand that part of you guys' laws. Some of the laws I don't understand, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, okay, and he can't figure out one, but I got one that it's basically U.S. based, but it should be implemented. If we could send these children that are 18 years old off to war, and they can go across seas and drink at 18, if they're actively in the military, they should be able to do it at home too. I don't
I
feel
agree.
we should be able to send them off to war without at least having them giving them their first taste of a drink or something that an 18-year-old or 21-year-old would be able to do. But I feel that they're taking too much away from them. So
See, that doesn't bother me.
now
Even with
is
the whole new smoke thing,
what's that?
making it till you have to be. I said I agree with that, and add on the smoking too, because now you got to be 21 to buy cigarettes.
I agree. So
See, in
you know
England,
what though? We are perfectly on time. And it is time for the closing monologue, guys. You guys ready to end it?
Boy.
yeah, kind of.
I just realized he's a
Uh-oh.
Cookie Monster.
Okay, people. So that's it. That's it for tonight. We kicked the doors off the hinges. We lit up the dark corners, and it's not a one and done. This isn't something, hey, we're doing this one time. We ain't doing it no more. Next week, I don't think we're doing it. Are we doing it next week, fellas? Somebody had
So
some.
you, yeah.
I'll be moving my niece next
Yeah,
week.
that's what it was. So next week we won't be doing it. We'll be coming back in 2 weeks, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. This is the Summit of Savages, where we're going to keep clawing at the edges of what's possible. You've got the spark now. You got 2 weeks to think about topics or whatever you want us to discuss. Don't toe the line. Don't settle for the script. Take what we're burning down tonight and burn it into your brain as knowledge of things that you could do to help yourself. Don't do nothing illegal or stupid, but figure out ways you could help yourself. Build something with it. Question things like the floods or the volcanoes or the myths or anything. Question everything. We're not here to fit in. That's never been the idea. I've never fit in with the in crowd. We're here to stand out for a reason. So be the savage that you are. And we'll meet back here in 2 weeks at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the next podcast will be Sunday the 6th of April. The time may change for that one. I'm not sure. However, it's that time to end this. Yeah, Scrog, it's the closing monologue, but it's okay because you could go back and watch it, bud. So with that being said, all of you people stay savage, and we will be back in 2 weeks. Then we'll try to get it either every 1 or 2 weeks. I'm not sure on a time frame because everybody's got lives. So until we meet again, stay savage. We're out of here.